currently on a continuous glucose monitor sensor trial. So continuous glucose monitoring, CGM, as opposed to a blood test, which gives you a very up-to-date snapshot of what is going on in your blood. Continuous glucose monitoring is that you have a sensor like this sort of in your body. Well, it's on the outside, but the sensor probes into your body, and it's on all the time. And if you have a receiver, and in my case my pump is my receiver, it sends signals every 5 minutes. The pros is that you constantly have, you can look at the screen and it's like a little video, you get a little graph and you can see if it's going up or down. And even better, with something like the pump, it can be programmed so that if your sugars start to step up, it'll actually go loo and tell you it's going up. Likewise, if your sugars are starting to go down quite dramatically, then ditto, I'll go loo. It can be a very good thing, particularly to help you minimise bad hypo attacks, because you get this oral warning. The next level, actually, if you don't go and acknowledge that you've understood that you're being told that you're going for a low blood sugar, then it actually gets to the next stage where it vibrates, the pump vibrates, which means that if you are already getting a bit incapacitated by your hypo, you'll get another sign to tell you that you're having a hypo. And even in the future, I think that is very shortly, if you don't acknowledge that signal from your pump that you're having a low blood sugar, then it will actually text somebody and let somebody else know that you're having a low sugar. So it's been very, very good for small children and maybe people who have very, very few hypo-awareness symptoms. Anyway, so I'm just going to take this one out and put a new one in. Now that is the transmitter. It's a bit dirty at the moment, I should clean that up. And that needs to get charged. So that goes into the little charger, it starts bleeping away, and that's marvellous. Now, yeah, that's actually been in for 6 days, and as you can imagine, they do get a little bit on the itchy side. So that's what goes into, I'll hold it in front of my shirt so hopefully you can see. That's actually quite soft. It's not, that in itself isn't like very, very nasty, but you certainly don't try and put it in like that. I'll show you the next stage of putting the next one in. But that one's used, it's done its 6 days of service. So I'll say thank you very much and put that away in a sharps bin. This is the next one going in. I already opened the packet up. It's meant to have just a little bit of time adjusting to the air. Now this little product is, it's called Zoff, and an adhesive remover wipe. It looks just like the old-fashioned swabs you used to have in the old days, but basically for any item that's a bit covered in the kind of stuff that you, well, plasters basically. And this actually gets stuff off of your skin as well as off of an item like your charger, your transmitter here. So if you've got any more that just cleans you up. You can see the dirt on there. Right, now the next stage is I'm going to put the sensor into this thing, bang it into me. It's a good idea to figure out where you're going to put your sensor on. It's got a lot to do with avoiding waistbands for a start. You learn that the hard way. This thing is going to be on for 6 days, so you do have to be quite careful about where you put it. This is a normal swab, and it's good practice to clean the area of your body that you're going to put your sensor into, but it's not necessarily vital. I'm just going to stick this somewhere really obvious right on the front so you can see it. So I'll avoid where I've put another one before, but I'll stick it there. The thing to note, this is the Medtronic sensor. Okay, so here is your sensor. There's a sort of neck here with 2 black rings on, and then this holdy bit. And there's a bottom that's only got 1 hole, and a top that's got a hole and a cleft to put those into. Those pop in at a sort of angle. Make sure that they're in. Then the whole thing slides